Welcome to Dinner at the Round Table Podcast with DJ John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder, your source to knowledge. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Dinner at the Round Table.
GG, I am DJ John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder. We all Dinner at the Round Table Podcast, your source to knowledge. We got a special guest tonight. Nelly Nell, please.
Yeah, you already know, man. Live from New York, man. We got stand-up comedian Man Rad in the house, man. Welcome, brother. For the
What it is.
How you doing?
I'm living, you already know, out here trying to survive, not get too freaked out about the next potential civil war. So, just trying to maintain like everybody else.
It's kind of crazy out there, man. But I'm glad you made it through the pandemic, bro. Thus far. I'm glad you made it through the pandemic thus far. You're alive.
Yeah.
So
Praise for everybody, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So,
absolutely.
Man, welcome back to your second time on the show, brother. Yeah. You already
It's great
know
to be back. It's great to be back.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, how was the pandemic for you, man? How was everything? How's your family? Everything's fine, right?
Thank God, my family and I, we've been safe. COVID free thus far. Things have been great. I lost 2 jobs during COVID, but I got a new one. So that's been great. The only thing that's been terrible is that during COVID, you can't do comedy shows the way you used to anymore. I know a couple people were doing them at the park during the summer, but now it's freezing. So,
unless you want to freeze your balls off.
Yeah, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear jokes when it's like fucking 30 degrees below zero, It's been wild.
Oh man.
Unless you belong to the polar bear club, maybe.
Yeah, bro. Ain't nobody trying to fucking hear ass eating jokes in the North Face. So it's been tough, man. It's been tough to get back out there in terms of comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just dive right into it, man, real quick.
Yeah.
About that, because with the whole shutdown of restaurants and bars and stuff like that, stand-up comedians rely off those type of shows in those bars and restaurants. So I could imagine, man, it definitely hit hard for the comedians, man, for sure. How's the fellow comedian community? How do they feel? Have you spoken to any?
It depends, like which one of them, right? Because some of them like travel for shows. So like if you get booked like out of state or somewhere where they don't necessarily have those kind of implications with COVID, because of work, I wasn't able to take any like gigs where I had to like do like road work or anything like that. But a lot of them, that's their main source of income. So I guess they had no other choice. But I don't even know what those shows would look like. I'm sure they still have to do some kind of social distancing and like be on stage with a mask or some shit. I don't know. Man, this shit is wild, bro. Like you gotta look like you're gonna rob a place just to fucking walk outside, man. It's nuts.
Right?
You're talking about that. There was a fellow comedian of yours that I met. What's his name? That kid, that Eagle Wit. That's his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was on the Comedy Central backyard. It was the Comedy Central backyard comedy.
Yeah.
Doing the backyard of somebody's house.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID, and they did a real good job of like separating the tables from a group of people.
Yeah.
So like 3 people per table, and the stage was like 20 feet away from like the first table in front of the audience.
Yeah.
They did a good job, man, of like setting the whole thing up, so they were fine as far as like.
It's Comedy Central, it's big money, so they're gonna do it,
Yeah.
Anything to reduce liability.
That's how Kevin Hart. You guys see Kevin Hart show? The same thing like that. It's like he's in like they have like 3 people, I think 3 or 4 people, but they're like 6 people apart from each other. Kevin Hart is about like 10, 15 feet from the people. So they're trying to make it happen some way, but it's not the same though. It's not the same. Just like sporting events too, though. Like, I mean, sports, they bit by bit allowing people to come in now, but it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah.
This thing is really about like, completely readapting your mind to everything and reimagining what things look like to you in your mental eye, because there are a ton of open mics, but they're like like this kind of forum, it's all online. And open mics in general already kind of suck. I've always looked at open mics as that's my comedy gym. This is where I go to test new material. This is where I go to make sure that I still got that timing. I'm still funny. But open mics are generally just comedians. So it's already kind of tough when everyone's there. But now to have to do that virtually and sit through maybe 20 people on a computer waiting, and you're waiting for the next 5 minutes to tell your joke. Like, how do you know that people are even paying attention to you, or that they don't have their mic or camera
on? That's true. Yeah, that's a great point.
I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's about just kind of like staying focused and reimagining, and kind of like I've looked at it at this point, like I just got to get ready and start putting my shit together for like if and when the world reopens, what that looks like, so that I'm prepared to go to the next level with my shit, because I have no idea what's happening with the world or the way in which it's going to move, and how my comedy would fit in that space.
It's going to be an adjustment, though. That's for sure, though. Like
even huge adjustment.
Yeah, it's going to be big, man. And I think it's going to last another year, though. I think it's just going to be another year of this, and then by 2022, we'll see. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to be definitely an adjustment for this.
Yeah, for sure, man. So real quick for our new listeners and new viewers that haven't heard about you since the last time you were here, you know, for you might be a new guest for them. They never heard you before. Just tell them who you are real quick, Man Rad.
So my name's my stage name is Man Rad, or I also go by Rodimus. I've been doing comedy now for oh my god damn, I'm actually very old. I've been doing comedy now for just about 10 years. Shit. 5 of those years I've been doing it consistently because I stopped go. Had a very interesting relationship with comedy in the beginning. I've been doing it for a while. I've done a couple college shows, been featured on some stuff. I think I did one BET show years ago. And those are my only big accolades. I don't have anything else, really. I've been featured on a few commercials. Currently I'm on a web series called Restitution, where I play a guy named Ramon Lopez, who's a murderer. It's really fun to play him.
You look like a Ramon Lopez.
Yeah, it's really fun to play him, bro. It's really fun. Yo, it's crazy because in one of the scenes, like I had to yoke a bitch up. Yo, it's so crazy. And he's like, yo, you gotta really do, you can't hold back. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I got into character and I yoked this girl up and I shook her up. Yeah, I felt so bad, bro, because like you could see the terror in her eyes. And that was the first time I ever had to play someone so aggressive. So yeah, those are some of the things I've been doing so far. Those are some of the things where you could probably find me or look me up as. So
dope, man. That's dope, man, for sure. That's dope, man. I definitely got to check out that web series you're talking about.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty good.
Where can somebody find the web series if they wanted to take a look at it?
So you'd find it on I don't want to mess up the name because it's its own platform.
I see.
So
they have their own like site.
They have their own site. It's really cool the way they do it. Let me see. It's OM Pro TV. It's OME Pro TV.
Okay.
And you can find the whole series there. And so the way it's done, there are a bunch of different series, but they're all part of its own like universe, its own overlapping universe. And so, yeah, I'm like the latest guy there, and it's great. I just get to play like a dude who's completely bugged out, and it's a lot of fun. Yo, it's mad fun. I'm like, yo, I want to play exclusively bad guys. That shit is great.
Yo, being a villain sometimes is a shit, man.
Let's give mad fun, bro.
A little clap for the web series. Congratulations, brother. You made it. But yeah, man, playing a villain, man, I've heard stories, like true Hollywood stories on like actors who actually are usually like the good guy, the protagonist, and and they'll say that sometimes playing the villain, they've loved those roles better than being the good guy, the protagonist.
Yeah, because it's really fun. You get to really like play around with the character. So he'll sometimes write. Sometimes you get a script, right? Yo, honestly, and like I really I've always wanted to be an actor, right? Like I tried to get into LaGuardia when I was in like, and for those of you who are not from New York, LaGuardia is like a big performing arts high school in New York City. And I didn't pass the callback because I thought a callback meant that I was in. I didn't know that I didn't know that it was like a literal. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm in. They want to like meet me. That's why it's called a callback. They call me back.
You're gonna call me back.
Yeah. So, bro, I didn't study none of my fucking lines, and that's one thing that like you don't see in celebrity interviews. It's like a lot of being an actor. You got to read a lot of shit, bro. You got to read and you got to really memorize this shit. Like, and then depending on the director you get. So sometimes like if you get a director and he wrote the thing, right? And he's like, yo, I want you to do things this way. And he wants it exactly that way because it's his vision. You have to figure out how to bring that to life. And then there are some guys who are a little more loose with it. They'll tell you, hey, like, no, like this is the line, but interpret it your own way, make it natural. Most of the time you don't get that. However, if you play the bad guy, they will give you a lot of times, a lot of room to fuck around and figure it out. That's why I really enjoy playing the bad guy, bro. But it's a lot of memorization and a lot of like reading shit. It's a lot of fun, man. I really enjoy it.
You gotta check that out then. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, bro. Like the last season we started filming in the summer, but we had to stop because of COVID restrictions and stuff. And I'm not entirely sure the date got pushed back again recently for when the series finale comes out. But it's great, bro. I'm in the series like just clapping people. It's fucking great. It's great.
Awesome, man, for sure.
Oh, man.
It's being a stand-up comedian. What would you say is your ideal crowd situation versus a non-ideal one? I know sometimes as a comedian, you might have days where you might bump into an asshole in the crowd. You got to deal with him. I've seen you live and direct deal with assholes, with hecklers.
Yeah.
I know how you deal with them, but for our listeners and our viewers, or somebody looking to do comedy is actually watching the show right now, listening, that they don't know like that aspect of it, because that's something that could throw you off of what you're trying to do. Can you explain to them, like, in your opinion, like
sure.
Your situation?
So the ideal comedics, the ideal audience would be one that finds literally everything you say fucking hysterical, right? That's the ideal crowd. But it never happens. It hardly ever happens. And I feel like if you do comedy, you can't be scared to bomb, to bomb, like that's a expression that we use. It means like your joke just didn't hit. And you have to expect that, like, you can't have a thin skin and do this. And then also, like, sometimes comedians will cut ass on you behind stage if you fuck up, just because it's kind of funny. It's kind of you have to roll with the punches and adapt, right? So what audiences, what you want is for them to be responsive. Like, laughter is always great, but even if they give you like like what the fuck, like that allows you to gauge your joke and readjust it. That's why the open mics are important, because you're getting a chance to really get in the rhythm of your joke, get its timing down. And like it sometimes you'll see comics like we all have our notebooks and stuff like that, and you see them kind of like trying to memorize their set, because it's just like a song. You have a set and the way things go through. But it's a live performance, and people are drinking, and someone's gonna fuck around, someone's gonna say something. It always fucking happens, and you want to be able to be so comfortable with your set that you can address someone in the crowd and then bring it back somehow. You know what I mean?
I see.
So yeah, it's a ton of work. The ideal audience is the most responsive. It's the responsive audience. However, you have to understand that it's not always gonna be the response you want.
So aside from laughing, you want to get a few of these then.
I've gotten a lot of those.
Right? You want to get some type of reaction, right? Correct?
Yeah. You want a reaction. And every crowd is different, right? And so you have to understand your like, you have to know your set, but you have to sometimes I feel like you say it a little different. So when I would do shows uptown, like specifically, I would do shows at Mocha, which is like pretty. It was a pretty popular comedy spot. That's a tough fucking room, bro. That is a hard room. It's always filled with people and like if you suck, the audience is gonna let you know, bro. Like on the spot. Like it feels like the Apollo.
Wow.
It feels like the Apollo. But it's a great place to go and really try your shit out because you'll figure out pretty quickly, yo, do I suck? Yo, like, am I ass at comedy? What do I need to do? Like, you'll figure it out at rooms like that. And then there are other rooms like if I would go downtown. So I try, like, I don't really use the N-word on in my personal life I try not to, right? Trying to be more woke and move forward and stuff. But when I first started doing comedy, there were times where like I had a joke, whatever, where I think I said book nigga or something like that. And I realized that I could get away with that in Harlem and uptown and the Bronx. But if I went to like a white room, they were offended, like mad offended, and they wanted to come, like white people wanted to come talk to me and address my use of
like
on stage. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Really super liberal kind of thing. I did a show like that in Brooklyn, in East New York, bro. It was a huge show. It was great. And there was one fucking dude who approached me after the show because he had a problem because he said I was victim blaming because of one of my jokes. I made jokes about bullies or some shit like that. And he came up to me and he spoke to me that. Actually, no, he did it in a very public forum. He raised his hand because it was a weird show. After the show, they sat me down and they did like an interview. I'd never been part of a show like that, but that's the way they ran it. So they asked me questions after the set, me and the other comedian who was featured. And the dude asked me directly about victim blaming and how I felt. That was very odd. But it's just kind of par for the course. Like when you go different places, you have to know to adjust your set for your particular crowd, right? Like I wouldn't go to an all white room and spit the way I did when you booked me for the cruise show, right? I would have to tell it a little differently. You know what I mean? So it's all about just knowing your audience, and at the end of the day, you can't be too caught up in giving too many fucks. Like you have to kind of just do it.
Right, you're right about that. That's true.
Yeah.
So what you basically your jokes on though, typically though, like just a day-to-day life, you know, or just everything. So
it depends, right? So I have my staple jokes. Like you have your hard-hitting jokes, the jokes that always hit. And a lot of those jokes are about like, yeah, absolutely, my day-to-day life, work stuff. Or like a lot of times I like to make really like kind of out there jokes, like abstract shit. And those jokes tend to be a little more political. Like if I say something political, it has to be very abstract because I'm not really a political comedian and I don't really like that kind of thing. But I think it's important to sometimes say some shit if you have a platform to do so.
That's true.
Yeah, so a lot of my stuff is like that, especially a lot of the newer stuff. Because I haven't been performing right as much since this epidemic, so it's just a lot of writing. You have to stay constant on your writing and stay current. So
that's a lot of work too.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of work. So, but it doesn't feel like work, but it is work.
You love what you do, yeah.
You gotta love what you do. A lot of fucking late nights, man, and that shit is hard because I 9-to-5 it. Like a lot of comics aren't 9-to-5, and they either live off of selling tickets, which they call, like you'll see them on the street, or you used to see them on the street, like, yo, come buy these tickets, whatever. They call that barking. So I did that for a while. I used to bark, but yo, I was no good at it, bro. I was not good at barking. I was not good at it, bro. I felt like I'm like, yo, I'm too fucking awkward for this shit. Like to just ask people, yo, you want to come to my show? And shit. Like it was, but there are guys who live off that. They're comics, whatever. They made their money off that. But like, if I get a show, right, I'll give you an example. A lot of times I would get booked on a show, and it was usually, this was when I was still doing Broadway Comedy Club. They would book me. They're like, oh, you gotta spot the show, be here by 11:50. these motherfuckers wouldn't put me up till like fucking 12, almost 1 in the morning, which means by the time I'm getting home, it's almost like 3 o'clock to be at work by 9. You know what I mean?
Man.
So that's very common. You know what I mean? Or so, yo, I remember one time, yo, I was at a bar on a Sunday, random Sunday, and I was just chilling. It was me and my girl. Like, I'm a little sauce. I'm getting ready to go home and call it an early night. A friend of mine hit me up. She's actually been on your show. Madam Bullet hit me up.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, listen, I got booked for a show in Brooklyn. I can't do it. Do you think you can do it? Like, do you want to take my spot? It pays, I think it paid like $75 or something like that. Honestly, this shit was mad deep. I was deep as fuck. I was like all the way in fucking, I was here in the Heights. I was here in the Heights, and the shit was deep in Brooklyn. I'm like, hell fucking yeah, I'll go do that show. I went, I rushed out there, I did it. I loved every moment of it. But bro, I got home mad late and I was fucking wrecked at work. And then I think I had another show the next day, and a similar thing happened. So you kind of got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, is this shit is a journey, and I enjoy the journey. I have a vision for where I want it to go. Yeah. And absolutely, I don't think I'm not in the place I'd like to be as far as my career, but I think it's important to just keep doing it, bro.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You just have to, whenever you're passionate about something and you're chasing it, so you just gotta just, you know what I'm saying, go ahead with it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fuck it, bro. Fuck it. Fuck it. Yo, fuck it is a way of life, because people are celebrated in public for the shit they've been doing in private for years, bro.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
You can't live for accolades. You gotta just do it because you like it and on some fucking shit.
Yeah, some fucking shit, man. You know, just like
that's this whole comedy gig is about. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah, bro. You gotta, when you're chasing a dream or something you're passionate about, you gotta understand that there's gonna be a lot of a lot of pitfalls. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because that's the reason why you're chasing a dream. It's a dream, and dreams sometimes come sooner than we think. But for the most part, I think most people have to put in a lot of work to make their dreams come true. And that's one of the things. You got to sometimes take a lot of risk, fuck up a lot of jobs, burn bridges, reconstruct them. You know what I mean?
Well, I fucked up jobs, and I mean, in my personal life, like I'm in upper management, so I've gotten in trouble, man, because people find out you're a comic, or like that cancel culture shit is very fucking true, man. Like people found out on 2 different occasions where I worked, and they contacted the agency that I worked, and they said some shit, and I didn't get in trouble or anything like that. Thank God I wasn't fired or anything like that. But it puts you in a bad position. And when you're manifesting dreams, you have to understand that that's just part of it, bro. Like you're always going to encounter a new foe, so to speak, a new challenge. And it's just about figuring out how you're going to manifest that. Because honestly, if you put my back up against the wall and you're like, yo, it's this job or it's your dream, fuck this job, bro. Like this is just a job. Like I'm not passionate. I literally don't give a fuck about like no work related shit. Everything is for this and my future goals. So I think you and we were having a conversation like that in private before the show about like starting to use my chips and stuff to like start producing my own things, start like actually funding and investing in myself, right?
Yes.
Because so often we're out here selling our time and our labor to make other people rich, and we forgo our own dreams.
All right.
And that shit that's an awful place. It's an awful place to be. It's an awful thing to do for too long,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a prime example. I'll tell you real quick. I went in with a goal into a particular field, and I'm still in the field, but I kind of lost track of what I really wanted to do, and I got so comfortable that I lasted 12 years in the same position, and I never accomplished the ultimate goal. And one day I was at work, and I just looked at myself in this little fucking mirror that we had in the office. I'm like, dude, you've been here 12 years. What happened to all the plans you had? And then I said, you know what? I just walked into the doctor's office,
I don't give a fuck.
I'm out of here. That's it. I'm done. I'm tired of making you rich. I'm gonna sit. And she's like, okay, well, do what you got to do. And I found my niche, man. After that, so
Yo, man, that
was
takes an incredible amount of balls and like
yeah. And I got some long
fucking
ones, by the way, just in case.
bro. Bro, that's some long ball shit, bro. That ass, man, like that. Yo, it's
Yeah, I did. I felt like Kobe when I did that.
Kobe.
yeah, bro. Cause yo, think about it. Like nobody wanna live a hard life, bro. But like nobody wants to go through difficulty, but unfortunately fortunately rather when you're chasing a dream, all that fire shit is gonna forge you, is gonna make you better, and it sucks, but the only way out is through. So the fact that you were able to quit a job because you're like, yo, I've been here 12 years and I haven't accomplished what I wanted, like that shit that's some hero shit. You only see that in movies. You don't really hear people that actually do that.
Yeah,
So I commend you for that, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And tell you the truth, it was scary at first because I was like, shit, what the fuck did I just do after I stormed in the office? But I was like, you know what, man? I made that decision and I can't be a
Pussy.
I got to keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? And I lived off of my savings for a little bit. And then I finally found what I wanted to do. It landed perfectly. And I was able to focus on other things that I wanted to do. So it all worked out. I was able to get a situation that was comfortable for me to continue to follow my dream. And yo, listen, I'm happy, man. I think it was the best decision I ever made. And you know, it was scary at first, but I took that big leap of faith, man. And you know, what else? What better than to believe in yourself?
Yeah, bro.
I believe in something. Might as well believe in yourself, right? So
Absolutely, bro. The world is already against you. You got to be on your own team at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to be basically your number one fan.
absolutely, bro. And you can't have like unquestioning loyalty to a company, because God forbid, if you were to drop dead right now, they would absolutely post your job immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are out here stressing over a fucking check, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what's been great about this situation, is that it's like all those, oh, we need you to come into the office. Niggas been doing remote, bro. The days I work remotely are my most productive days. You know what I mean? So I think that this time has been great if you've used the time constructively to really channel it back into dreams and manifestations of the past. Like you can bring it to life now if you use the energy right. And I think that's what you've been doing, and it inspires me to hear that you've done that.
For sure, man. Now, listen, man, I'm here, bro. Whenever we could put ideas together, we could make something pop it.
Absolutely.
Next thing you know, we might have a sketch comedy show. Me and you, if we get.
Bro, I would fucking love that shit. I would fucking love it. I filmed a sketch over the summer, man.
Then we'll have John Tavar on the show. He'll be like the serious, like trying to like motivate this guy in the show. You know, there's always like a character in the show that's like he's the one trying to like structure everybody and shit.
Yeah, there's always got to be one structured, centered person. It's always important.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a big picture guy. Like I also don't plan things out as well as I should.
Man.
But nah, man, that's what comedy is all about. It's all about manifestations and just really just like grinding and the thing is too, like, comedy today in 2021 is not what it was several years ago. Like, it's not, you can't just think that you're gonna have a Twitter page or a couple of accounts, do shows, and that's gonna be the way. Like, a lot of comedians have really had to diversify the things that they do, like get into acting, get into fucking improv, get into commercials, just a bunch of different things to really get themselves out there and get themselves exposed. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Like, since I haven't been able to do stand-up, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna dive into this acting thing. I'm gonna figure things out. Like, also read. I also think it's important to read, not just on like comedian books. There's a lot of books that sometimes comics will recommend that was written by some comedian. I don't really do that. I might work for some people, but I think that like books that help me think better, like the Book of the Five Rings. There's a book called As Man Thinketh, things like that. These are books that help you effectively plan and manifest your your thoughts and really get a hold of your thoughts, man. Your thoughts rule you, bro.
Yeah.
If you can control your thoughts, like, yo, bro, you are a true fucking master.
You're a fucking god.
Yeah, you're like a demigod on this earth. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what this shit is all about, bro. It's just a different expression of it.
And to tell you the truth, if you really think about it, all the ancient scriptures say that we were made in the image of God. So we have a godlike feature. And you know what that godlike feature is? Just subconscious. The way that you're able to think something and manifest it in real life, you know, in reality. Something that you dream, you make it happen in reality. That's a godlike feature. So we all have that capability. We just have to tap into that ability and make it capable. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes, I had this thought yesterday. So I take my grandmother to church on Saturdays, right? And so the preacher,
Man Rad goes to church.
I go to church for my grandma. I mean, I
believe Good Man Rad now. You gotta call yourself Good Man Rad.
No, I mean, like, yo, she likes it, so I take her. Whatever. I'm not the most pious guy. Like, I don't enjoy going to church. I think a lot of it is nonsense. Like, they were handing out, like, huh?
Have you done any confessions recently?
Not hell fucking no, bro. Hell fucking no.
Yeah, also
there was one time.
Bad Man Rad.
Yo, let me tell you. One time, some fucking priest was like, I forget why. My parents wanted me to talk to this fucking priest, whatever. So I'm talking to this motherfucker. He's saying some wild shit to me about like self-control and like fucking something with women, some shit. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, you don't even fuck, bro. You don't fuck. When's the last time?
This?
Get the fuck out of here! What are you talking about, bro? Like, you're not. You're like abstinent. You want to talk to me about relationships? Shut the fuck up, bro.
You was like,
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Oh man.
Yo, that's a good soundboard, bro. I love that, man.
Oh man, we got the best soundboard in the podcast.
Yo, it's Jason Bourne. Yo, I want to be that kind of guy. Like,
we got over 100,000 sounds, bro. It's crazy. I think we got the most sounds out of any podcast.
That shit was well timed, man.
Yeah, on the independent level, because you got the big guys like, Joe Rogan. We can't really compete with them because they got more funding, but
nice.
We're still nice. Yeah, brother.
I like Joe Rogan though.
But yeah, man, that's good, man, for sure, man. Definitely. Sometimes you gotta help out, your elders, especially family members,
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. Like, you gotta watch out for the old folk. You gotta watch for like family, bro. That this shit taught me that this entire pandemic is because like you can't really go out and chill with your boys. You can't do sipes anymore because you don't know what people are really up to. It really made you cognizant of how you live your life and how other people live their life. Like, what are you doing on weekends? Like, who are you exposing yourself to? What shit could you possibly bring back here? So, it really made you refocus. And like my focus, I'm like, damn, like I really love my grandma. I always give my weekends to my grandmother anyway. I take her to church because she likes it. I've been just to be clear, I do believe in God and all that stuff. I don't really care for the Catholic Church and a lot of things that they do because it's so fucking hypocritical, and I can't stand the Pope. I think he's an asshole. And he's an asshole. Yo, and not for nothing, he protects diddlers. He's protected mad diddlers, so he's a fucking
inside secrets with those guys, you know what I'm saying? But I'm with you though. Like, I mean, I don't practice religion at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow whatever religion. I think it's just a controlling mechanism. But
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean?
It's a controlling mechanism.
Oh yeah.
And like he was out here preaching to people like, oh, don't worry, because I guess people had concerns about what happened when motherfuckers raided the fucking Capitol. And so he was like, don't worry about that. That's nothing. The new president's coming. I'm like, bro, like, what do you stop lying to people? They absolutely 100% need to be paying attention to what's going on. They should be concerned. They should be preparing themselves. Stop telling them to just have faith. Hey, look, it's important to have faith, but you also need to be prepared, bro. You can't, one is not exclusive from the other. You have to have faith, that your plan is going to work, bro. Not just I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be all right because I have faith. You wilding.
Yeah.
So he was up there like just preaching bullshit, like controlling people, saying shit that they want to hear. And I'm like, you're not even really preaching what's right. Because if you really want to be real, Jesus Christ himself said, be spiritual, not religious. Jesus Christ is a revolutionary, bro. Like he has revolutionary thoughts, revolutionary ideals. I walk in, these motherfuckers is selling candles and shit, and I'm like, yo, Jesus Christ went ham on motherfuckers for doing
Jesus
that
Christ
shit.
used to be like,
Got him!
Yes. And he pulled out a whip and he beat the shit out of everybody for selling stuff in his temple.
yeah.
And motherfuckers is out here doing it again, like selling a white candle that's like $10 because it's gonna like disperse evil spirits and shit. It's just that's more control and like I don't know. So I don't like shit like that, bro.
For sure, man. It says it. He's Jesus Christ. He said himself that in order for you to follow the God Almighty, whatever, you don't need to go to a place to basically congregate with other people. It's best when you do it on your own because that shows that you really have faith. So basically, the church going thing and being in a room with 1,000 other motherfuckers so they can see that you are a believer is actually worse.
Yeah, because he's your body is the temple of God, right? Yes. And like I think he said 2 or more unite in my name, like I'm there. So you can have like this right now, this kind of conversation is a form of church because even though we're not like in active prayer, but we're sharing ideas and we're dropping knowledge bombs. Like it's important to have conversations like this. You can really extrapolate some shit from your brain. Like you have to I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. like I just thought 1,000,001 things just now, but
you was like
you could go on for hours with this kind of stuff.
But you're right about that.
You can go on. I can go on for hours about this kind of stuff.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. What?
Can we, man? Can we? But definitely, I'm with you with that. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's a big business too, because churches don't pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, the first thing they ask when you walk into a church is money. God doesn't need money. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of things behind the scenes, and that's why I don't take it so serious. And I don't knock anyone who is religious. You know what I'm saying? They practice whatever they whatever they believe in. But it is a controlling mechanism though, and it's a big business though. It's a lot of pastors that make a lot of money, man. Dudes living in mansions, having a luxury cars, all that, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. You hit it right on the nail there, buddy.
That shit is wild.
What you want with Bob?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But definitely is a big business.
What's the student?
Say it again.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys know who L. Ron Hubbard is. You know who that is?
Yeah.
He was like a shitty sci-fi writer. He founded the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, Dianetics.
So that Dianetics or whatever. Is it Dianetics or Dianetics? Whatever.
Dianetics.
That shit. The Tom Cruise shit.
Yeah, it's all about
the Tom Cruise religion
and positive and negative reactions. And
hold on 1 second. Get off the table. Yo, you bugging. Get off the table. Yo, dog. Yo, he's wilding right now.
Oh man.
You talking about the Lord and Savior? I must kill you.
Yo, you got tight. I guess he didn't like this conversation.
He was in a fucking
what I was saying was
face off.
What I was saying is your boy L. Ron Hubbard was best friends with this other dude named Aleister Crowley, and he said, yeah, I'm going to start a church because I don't have to pay taxes and I can get mad money off it. Like, he's on record saying that. So this shit is big business.
Oh, absolutely. I said it in the podcast before, like, why keep writing science fiction when you could create your own religion and make so much money doing that? And that's exactly what he did. You know what I mean? That man created his own religion, and look at, to this day, you see all these Scientology buildings still. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Holy moly.
It's crazy.
They also have like exclusive government contracts and shit. It's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah. When you look into Scientology, they have like their own form of jail. Like the the president or like the main guy of Scientology, like his wife hasn't been seen in years. That shit is wild, bro.
Wow, they didn't know that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. And a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, like you just mentioned, Tom Cruise. I don't know, Will Smith was into
Hollywood is practically theirs.
There's a lot of celebrities that are really into that still. They still, support that.
Yeah, I mean, Scientology has Hollywood by the balls, bro. Almost all the big celebrities that you might imagine, they all belong to Scientology. They all believe in like positive and negative energy. It's because Dianetics is all the study of like universal energies, and they don't believe in like in a source. They believe in like this fucking weird fucking ancient dinosaur that just flies in the air somewhere. It's crazy. Like they got this whole stupid ideology.
No, they believe in Lord Xenu, and that Lord Xenu fucking
Lord Zordon,
all these
the
fucking
Power Rangers.
souls. Like, bro, it's fucking yeah, bro. They believe in this alien named Xenu, and that all the bad thoughts you have are like the spirits of dead aliens that have attached to you. They believe some really out there shit.
Yeah.
But I give people their respect because at the end of the day, I believe in Jesus Christ. So like, I might sound crazy to somebody else. I give everybody their own room and their own space to have their own beliefs. You know what I mean?
Word.
You got to be respectful of everybody's truths. But if you were to ask me, it's all bullshit. But whatever,
Yeah,
you got to be respectful.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah. So listen, man. Let's get into the second half of the show, man. Man Rad in the house. We're gonna our main topic tonight is dating circumstances. We all got issues with dating situations. We've had bad dates, good dates, great dates, horrible dates. So we're gonna get into that real quick. We're gonna jump into a little song right here real quick. My dude Lenny Coca on Fashion. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
It's the underground hybrid.
No old fashioned, but I'm off-white. 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 No old fashioned, but we 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 off-white. Left cause I had to get right, cause it's gon' be a hell of a night. I know, that they love the dirty Sprite, but I'd rather be up all night. Okay, we got the herbal, we got the yay, party favors in every flavor. I feel so up now, we lit like candles now. I don't wait in line, I just take them and I score. Touchdown, she got a red nose, she's clowning around. So much snow that I might spout. Baby bumps like a ultrasound. No fashion, but I'm off-white. 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 No fashion, but we 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 off-white. Off-white, black and yellow is Khalifa. Take a moment, learn a lesson, I'm a teacher. On a budget, never cut it, no procedure. She line it up, perfect size, centimeter. Oh no, in my bubble doing blow. I'm always pumped for every show, keep the gas and no go. 8 balls like a snow globe. Everybody knows no scopes. Hit me up like a light stroke. Feel the trip in the back of your throat. She had to pay the price without a quote. I'm so high now, I won't do no fashion, but I'm off-white. 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 No fashion, but we off-white. No fashion, but we off-white. No
fashion will be off-white. No fashion will be off-white. Lenny Coke in the house, man. The underground heartbreak kid, man. We back in the building. They're not the Roundtable podcast, man. Dating circumstances. You know, our main topic of the night. I know everybody who's listening or watching the show, we've all had bad experiences doing dates, good experiences. We're here to talk about our personal experiences.
I'm not even gone on dates yet.
you need to go on a date, guy. But anyway, I know you probably dated in the past in your life. Maybe you have some horror stories you can share with us. But me personally, I've had my share of horror stories and good stories. Let's start off with Man Rad, man. Since you're the evil funny genius here. All due respect to anybody who you know seeing right now, but this is all about based on like past.
Yeah. Past.
So,
yeah, so I do have a girlfriend. And it's dope. So our first date was awesome. We spent the whole night vibing and drinking beer. It was pretty dope. However, when I was single, I went on some fucking crazy dates, bro. Yo, like some wild, bad. Yo, I remember one time, I'll tell you this crazy story, right? So I went on a date with this girl. I don't even remember how I met her. But I went on a date with her and I went to this bar. So as soon as she pulled up, the first thing I thought, yo, this bitch definitely catfished me, right? She was, definitely way.
Man, Rad,
Yeah.
Let's explain what catfishing is.
All right. So catfishing is like the best way I could describe is literally a bait and switch, right? So they'll show you a picture of themselves and it's either like usually like it's just a really old picture. They no longer look like this. They haven't looked like that in a long time. And she was a lot heavier. Like it was just an old picture, right? So she pulls up, she's a lot heavier, and I'm like, yo, whatever. Like, I'm here, I'm not gonna be rude. Let's fucking let me just have this date, right? So she sits down, we're talking and stuff, and yo, bro, I swear it's not even 5 minutes into the date. I'm like, oh shit, she's actually crazy. Like she's bugged out. She's fucking bugged out. This is how I figured out she's bugged out. She's like sitting down and she keeps doing this, like looking up and like shaking her leg. And I'm like, yo, are you okay? Are you nervous? Do you need a drink? Do you want me to get you? And she's like, no, actually, I don't drink. I'm like, oh my God, this bitch doesn't drink. Like before anybody tries to like Me Too me and think that I'm trying to like get her drunk or anything like that. It wasn't that. It's just that I am a drinker. I'm a prolific drinker. I like to booze. I will drink. And I am not interested in dating somebody who's like, I don't drink. Because, yo, I drink. Like, I'm not trying to be like, that's cool for you if you don't drink, but you can't be with me. Right? So immediately she says that. I'm like, all right, cool. This chick is definitely horrible. So we're like 15, 20 minutes into the date. And I still don't want to be rude. I'm being, I'm trying to like have a conversation with her. I'm trying to like, but it was like pulling teeth. She had nothing interesting to say. And then the things that were interesting, I felt like I was in a counseling session because I was just trying to like talk her off the ledge the whole time, bro. So she starts telling me, yo, she's like, she was older than me, right? So I'm in my 20s at this point. I'm like in my mid to late 20s. And she's in her like, she's probably like 34 at the time, right? So she's telling me that her mom is mad controlling. Her mom like quit college and all this shit. She starts asking me about working out. And then she goes like this to her arm and like mad. She shook her like arm fat. Then this is what really, she's like, yo, can you help me get into shape? I'm like, yo, this is wild, right? So then she says to me, yo, I really love kids. I'd like to have kids. My goal is to have kids for like in I don't remember how many years. I'm like, what who just says that, bro? And it was completely unsolicited, bro. Like we were literally talking about like her mom controlling her, then like one that she had a breakdown at her job and she worked in a bank, so she locked herself in a safe to cry. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I don't understand how we ended up talking about kids. She pulls out her pictures of nieces and nephews, and just like the rest of the date started showing me pictures, whatever. So I didn't even put her in a cab, bro. When we left, I was like, I'll walk you to your bus stop, but we out. I left. I went home. She starts texting me, whatever. Like, hey, that was a great date. Like, and I didn't ghost her. Nah, that's a lie. I just didn't want to sound like a bad. I did ghost her immediately. I ghosted her. It was very immature of me. I should have been like, I'm not interested for the following reasons. But word of advice, if you do want kids, like, don't start talking about kids right away off top at the date. That's really off-putting. Definitely don't pull out your cell phone and start showing me pictures of your nieces and nephew. And then here's the crazy shit, bro. Here's the crazy shit. Fucking somehow or another, she gets a job at the gym I used to go to that I definitely told her about. And I saw her there like a year or two after this at the gym. And it was her, bro. I know it was her. She just looked way worse. Like, I hope that girl's okay. I hope that girl is all right. I really don't fucking know. But she definitely had some real serious mental health issues, bro. That's what you'll run into a lot in the dating world.
Yes, a lot.
You got
a
lot
of
mental health. Dangerous too, though.
Mad dangerous.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Like I think a lot of times as men we forget, like, yo, you can be killed by one of these girls. They could 100% kill or set you up to get robbed.
Some basic instinct shit, like Sharon Stone.
Yes.
And it just fucking like she'll end up in a precinct fucking seducing the detective into believing she didn't kill you by crossing her legs over, smoking a cigarette.
I mean, yeah, if she's showing totazo, you're gonna be like, all right, bro, whatever you say, I'm gonna believe.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, the art of seduction, women definitely got the upper hand on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They can seduce, they can get out of any situation with a sexual gesture or a sexual advancement, right? Guys are like ready to go when it comes to fucking. Women are more conserved. You know, you'll see a guy take up an offer of a girl wanting to fuck him versus more likely than the other way around, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
So for me, my worst dating experience was this once. I was dating this girl. This was like our third date. I mean, to my understanding, she had nobody in her life, right? She didn't have anything going. I was just the person she was dating. And we were at a bar. And when we're leaving the bar, she goes, hey, I forgot to mention my crazy ex-boyfriend. He hangs out around here. So if we see him, just tell him that you're like my coworker or whatever. I'm like, sure. Yo, rest assured.
What the fuck?
We walk out the bar. Oh, you hear the guy goes like, Giselle. I'm like, oh shit, that's him. Like as soon as I heard that, I heard a guy screaming her name, I knew it was him. So I turned around and the guy was like, who are you supposed to be? I'm like, dude, I'm just her coworker. Oh yeah, sure. And I'm supposed to believe that. I'm like, yeah, sure. So he's like, so where do you guys work together? Luckily, we already had
sex shop.
And we didn't rehearse that at all, but I knew where she worked at, and I answered the question correctly, and the guy backed off. But it would have been a crazy situation. The guy, we could have like, guy, he was still like hung over on her, whatever, and he hadn't gotten over the whole breakup thing. It could have got ugly for me. I was like an innocent bystander in a sense, but that was one horror story for me.
That's crazy.
I was on a great date. It was too perfect that I kind of like got scared and I just never called her back. It was too perfect. It was a great fucking date. I'm like, shit, something has to be wrong with this. There's no way that this girl is so like, she's like the best person I've ever met. And I kind of got scared at it being too real, and I just never called her back. So that was my version of a horrible date versus a great date. So
I got another date. This one was more sad, right? So this is several years ago. I don't even think I was shaving my head yet, right? So and I'm sorry for the listeners. I'm in the middle of feeding my dog. That's why he was knocking things off the table. I went on a date with with this girl. She was like she was Moroccan. She was Moroccan, and I couldn't believe. I forgot. I was on one of those dating sites. It wasn't Tinder. It was something else. Anyway, I couldn't believe that I matched with her because, like, in my mind, I think, huh?
Local hookups.
Oh my God, local hookups. Wow, I haven't heard of that in a minute.
Man, that was crazy.
John Tavar, the Spanish one, it was like the Spanish MySpace.
Mi gente.
Huh?
Mi gente.
Mihente.com.
That was like, yeah, that was like a Spanish version of MySpace. Yeah.
Mi gente. And what was there was Black Planet too.
Black Planet, yup.
Plenty of fish, POF.
Oh yeah, plenty of fish.
Nah, I never, I don't think I ever had a POF, but fuck, I don't remember it. It might have been Bumble. I don't remember. But I matched with this girl, and I couldn't believe that I matched with her because, like, even though I think that, yes, I am un papi, she was definitely way out of my league, bro. Like, she was really, really pretty. So I go to the bar and I go meet her, and we're talking shit, and like immediately, something isn't right. Like, her energy was really off. She was also very willing to meet me. She was like, "Oh, absolutely, I'll meet you." Like I literally matched with her and I met her the next day. So I thought that was a little bit weird, but I was like, all right, whatever. It's a pretty girl. I'm not gonna fucking question it too much.
You know what they say about the pretty ones?
Yes, bro, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. They're usually
the most prettiest girls are the craziest.
A lot of them really are, bro. That trauma shit is real. So I get to the bar. I'm talking to her. She didn't catfish me. It's her. She is incredible looking and all this stuff. Didn't really have much of a personality, which is whatever. But then, like, the shit she started saying, I was like, yo, what? She was like engaged for years to a cop who was like physically and verbally abusive to her. Her whole family like was very controlling. So she made up some lie to get out of her house to come see me. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just walk in? Like, I'm like, yo, did somebody follow you here? Am I gonna get fucking shot? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you were with a cop? Like, what the fuck? Like, so she's telling me all this crazy shit. And then she gets a text message and she looks down. She's like, oh, now you want to wish me happy birthday. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. It's your birthday? And I know this is fucked up. The first thing I thought is, what a loser. You're out here with me. You're not even like with your friends. You don't fucking know me. I could be a maniac. What are you doing? So when I found that out, I cut it short, bro. And I never called her again. And she was very like enthusiastic. Oh, you know, she told me her hobby was she like knits. She only knits. She doesn't do anything except knit at home. Like when she's upset, she knits. She just knits a bunch of things. And I'm like, this is a very strange person who I need to steer clear of. Like, you have some kind of mental health shit going on or some trauma shit. And I'm not trying to get caught up in that, bro. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's something like some misery loves company type shit. Getting sweaters to release her anger. She's like stabbing the fucking fabric.
God.
That's bro. You know what it is, bro? I think that as a man, I can only speak for the male side, right? As men, it's important if you're a single dude, it's important for you to have an idea in your mind of what you want out of your partner. Like, you've definitely you can't be like, for me, it was critical for me to be with someone who was absolutely not like my ex. I did not want someone who is a roaring bitch. I did not want someone who was super combative all the time, someone who wasn't cool, and also someone who I couldn't see myself building with, right? So like a lot of these guys that have all these crazy problems with their baby mamas, I'm like, nigga, that's 100% your fault because you put a baby in crazy. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? If you're able to isolate, yo, she has mental health issues and a crazy fat ass, bro, like there are other fat asses out there. Like you don't have to be with crazy all the time. Like it like dudes don't. I think that idea kind of escapes dudes because like you don't really think of a woman doing harm to you, but she can absolutely do harm to you in a lot of other ways that will fucking ruin your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
I will,
Lips, yo.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. It was a lot of crazy girls, man. Like I like when I would go on these, yo, bro, I ran into mad, actually crazy girls on dates. There's mad crazy motherfuckers in New York.
Word. Yo, I went on a date with this girl, and um,
Oh man.
immediately I noticed that she was like very like she's an attention seeker. So she's there like being mad provocative, not only to me, but which was great to me because I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get my rocks off, right? The first time. I wasn't looking for a serious thing, but
Yeah.
like she made every fucking guy in the room. We was in a bar in that room, like focused their attention to her. She was that type of female, and immediately I noticed, like, oh man, I don't want to be with a girl. So I was like, so I'm like, yo, this chick definitely wants to be the center of attention. I can't deal with that, but let me see if I get lucky because obviously she wants to fornicate, right? If she's acting that way. So anyway, the whole point is we ended up back in a hotel, and while we're having intercourse, she says, "Okay, hit me." I'm like, "Okay, hit you where?" And she's like, "Hit me in the ribs." I'm like, "Okay," so I just like tap it, like tap her ribs. Say, "No, I want you to punch me." Almost fracture my ribs. I'm like, okay. So I hit her. She goes, no, hit me harder. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's like, just hit me, motherfucker. So at one point I was like trying to like, like get, I was trying to come, right? So I got into it and I fucking punched her hard and the bitch started crying. And I'm like, yo, this is all your fucking fault, you dumb bitch.
Damn, what? Yo,
Yo,
what to say
She
after
was
that?
blaming me. She was blaming me for hitting her. I'm like, dude, you asked for it. You got me into the whole thing. So I'm like, yo, that's crazy how she was able to influence me to get into like a whole sadist masochist thing that I'm not even.
yeah.
And then
You're
when I
not even a masochist. Yeah.
yeah,
A
S&M thing.
sadist.
And when I really got into it, I actually hit her with all my force. She blamed it on me. I'm like, yo, bitch, you got me involved.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous
Even
though, because imagine would have turned on you and said, you know what,
Yeah,
get to me?
I didn't. And the whole thing is, I didn't even know that I had that in me. But she brought it out in me because she was basically calling me a pussy when I wasn't hitting her hard. And then when I hit her hard, I got into the whole thing. She made me feel bad about it. Like, this bitch is nuts. And I just like, you know what?
That's crazy. Crazy, man.
Can't
No,
do
yeah,
it.
bro, absolutely. And I think a lot about being set up, man. I don't want to be set up. And I mean, again, in the past, because I got my girl who is not crazy, none of those. So I got with my girl because she wasn't any of those things, and like, it is really hard. Like there's a lot of posts like women post, oh, niggas ain't shit, niggas, and they're absolutely right. I think, without a doubt, most men are garbage, but like 91% of women are absolute trash, especially like now, with a lot of this, a lot of the millennials, like, I guess it's because I'm older and I don't understand the way that they do things, but like there are guys now who get sucked up into these weird cuckold situations because they think it's okay and it's normal and they're somehow empowering their woman. A lot of these girls are like, fans only chicks. Like, I couldn't imagine dating now. There's so much more you have to watch out for. Like
Yeah.
when you're out there and you're dating, you got to watch out for. Like, I would have been terrified in your situation. I'm like, damn, this bitch. What if she says that I fucking sexually assaulted her, and now she has evidence that I rocked her shit because you did.
Yeah.
She could have turned that any way she wanted to. Like, and now she has way too much power over you.
Yep.
That shit is really scary.
It is scary.
Yeah, gotta
It
be
is it.
careful, man.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Gotta be very careful, man. And that's one of that was like it was kind of like a good date at the same time, but there was also like a horror story because I was looking to just get my nuts off, and she ended up being like that. But then towards the end, when I actually got in, when I indulged in her whole little game, it was kind of scary because I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, she could have set me up and got me into a legal situation. So you gotta be careful, man. Like you said, this day and age is crazy because
How did that pan out?
it was. I
How
mean,
did-
we ended up we went on another date, and then we decided that like whatever she was into was too much for me, and she was more into like being like She wasn't into monogamy. She wasn't like into like exclusive dating. She wanted to like date different people and fuck different people. I was like, yo, I'm not with that. And it was like kind of an easy like let go pass for me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
pretty easy, but yeah, man. But it was crazy. I was kind of shook for the first like for a week, thinking
Yeah, I would have been too, bro. Yeah.
That's dangerous, bro.
dangerous.
But now you learn from that, though, right? Next time you won't, you know what I'm saying? Punch any shorty, regardless of yourself.
No, never.
Never, man. That's crazy, man.
She's like, hit me harder, right in the ribs. And I'm like, is this enough? She's like, no, hit me harder. Then when I finally got into it, I almost fractured her ribs.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Bro, that's really wild. That's so
That's
wild, but that's not an uncommon situation, man.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
Girls, they like to get choked out.
Oh, that's very
before
common.
they
Yeah.
pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I had this one chick. I was on a date, and I had dated her a couple of times already. And when we finally got into the whole sexual part of the relationship, whatever, not relationship, but a relationship in the sense we were dating, a dating relationship. She had told me, "Yo, just choke me until I pinch you. When I pinch you, that means I'm about to tap out, and that's how I like get my rocks off." I'm like, "All right, bet." So I was choking her out, and then she finally was like, her eyes were going backwards and shit. She looked like the fucking exorcist, and then
Man.
mad fucking hard. She left me a bruise for like 2 weeks. She really like, you know those pinch when somebody pinches you, they grab your skin but they twist it at the same time. She did that, and then I thought she looked like she was gonna die actually, and then she pinched.
What I want to know, how the fuck did she figure out that she likes that?
So she must have had.
That's wild. How do you know that you like that shit? That's some dark shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you. People have sexual fetishes, man.
That's crazy, man. Have you guys ever gone on a blind date? Because that's what I want to share, my blind date experience. I don't know if you guys have been on a blind date before. Okay.
I went on a blind date in right after high school. I remember I went on a blind date, and I went on two. One was very horrible, and one was very great.
Okay, so you got a 50-50. I mean, I did it off the strength of my friend. That's why I did a blind date. So it was basically a double date, but it was a blind date because I didn't, obviously I didn't see, first time seeing her. And honestly, listen, I don't knock anybody. I mean, everyone got their own preference of female as far as like their, their physical presence, which now I'm older now, you know what I'm saying, which doesn't really care for me anymore. Because I mean, now I've learned as an adult, chemistry is always going to be over biology. But, Shorty was not my cup of tea. And back in my mind, like, yo, my boy owes me for life. He owes me for life. And it was crazy because he put me in so much awkward positions where, he will hold Shorty's hand like his date, and she was pretty. And then the girl was expecting me to do the same thing. And I'm like, yo, this guy, like, yo, what are you doing? Because then she gonna expect me to do the same thing. And it was like so awkward where like I didn't want to like, I'm saying, kind of like make it feel as if I wasn't into her, which I wasn't, but it was just awkward because anytime that my man like had his arm around his date, you know what I'm saying? Then I like Shorty was expecting me to do the same thing to her now. You know what I'm saying? So it was just really awkward, man. And I told my boy, man, you owe me for life for this, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Had
in your boy's head.
Huh?
In your boy's head, this is the song he had in his head.
Boom, 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 let's go back to my room so we can do it all night. Then you can
Fuck me.
You're like, no, I don't want to fuck this crazy bitch.
That was crazy, man. But yeah, that was one experience I definitely will never forget ever. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I mean? And I mean, me just being a nice guy, I gave him my number. Oh man, that was the worst decision I ever made. That was the worst decision. Because my phone was on full blast, bro. Just calling me, texting me, like nonstop. Where I had to tell my boy, talk to your shorty and let her know that I'm not interested. What I should have done it, I shouldn't have actually, said that. But my boy, he ended up doing it for me. And
well, he owed you one.
No, yeah, he definitely owes me. He still owes me. Like that's not even nothing. He owes me. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's crazy though, man. But it's a different dating scene, as you guys was talking about the dating apps now, because now it's like you don't really meet anyone everything is virtual now. You know what I'm saying? Where now you got all these different. I mean, I don't know how many dating apps are now out there now, man. It's crazy. It's like crazy. You know
It's
what
a
I mean?
lot of them. Like I don't know. I have like my friends who are still single. I'm like, y'all got a lot of balls, man. Cause like not for nothing, y'all out here just doing what y'all do. A lot of the different dating apps, they've told me like certain dating apps are exclusively for fucking. Like it's understood.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen that way, but it's a lot of them are for that.
Yeah,
So
different hookups, yeah.
yeah, like hookups and shit. And I'm like, yo, I don't knock nobody, yo, get down how you get down. But there's like so much you can catch out there. And I know personally that I have a few friends that like fuck raw. And I'm like, bro, like super gonorrhea is real. Like super gonorrhea is a real fucking threat. There's no
Herpes.
cure. There's still herpes, which there's the AIDS, bro. You don't want to be counting T cells the rest of your fucking life, bro. This shit is crazy. Like, and COVID,
That's
and
crazy.
they're out here moving how they move. So I just feel like in 2021, bro, like I'm not saying change your morals, change this, change that about yourself, but just be a little more cognizant and definitely protect yourself. I think that a lot of men, especially young men, don't really do that. They just want to get cheeks. And I think that every man has gone through that phase in his life. And I'm not knocking you for it, but you got to move intelligently, man, and like respect your body. You know what I mean? Like don't just do shit for numbers. Getting with scalawags and shit. I never did a blind date to jump on your point. I never did a blind date, but I don't know if you guys have ever had this. I went on this is years ago. I think I was a teenager, and I went on a date, and I went to go meet this girl, and she lived in the hoodest fucking place in Brooklyn, bro. And I remember I told my boy, yo, like I told him the address, like, bro, like you really want to? I think it was like something on Church Street, some shit like that. He's like, bro, like that's a really bad area. Brooklyn's gentrified a lot now, so I don't know if it's still like that. But sure enough, I fucking get there, and there's like these 3 or 4 Crips start talking shit to me because like I'm Latino, and I think they assumed I was like a Latin king. Yo, they wanted to fuck me up, bro. They wanted to fuck me up. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't just, if I go out here and explain that I'm going on a date with somebody, they're gonna be really mad. So I did what any thug does. I went in the bodega and waited to the left and went right back to my neighborhood. Fuck that shit.
I
Fuck
don't
that
knock you
shit.
for that, bro. Because I mean, you out of your hood right now. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
That's
fuck
logical.
that, bro. Yeah, I was like, yo, hell yeah. I was like, nobody knows I'm here. If they fucked me up and they left me here, Brian, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna have to eat that L.
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. Hell yeah.
That would have been.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, bro.
Oh man, that's
Yo,
crazy.
I went on this one date, bro, and it was a chick. She was very like she was too much into to herself, and she wouldn't shut the fuck up at all. Like she wouldn't even let me talk. You know what I mean? Like they got that bad that she wouldn't let me talk, and I had to just like
Shut your bitch ass up.
and I just got up and I just left, bro.
So
Yo, you just left in the middle of her talking?
Yeah, because she couldn't let me. She was like,
Shut your bitch ass up.
Yo,
yeah,
what?
We literally sit down. We order food. It was a dinner date. And she just kept on talking about herself, about her job, about her ex-boyfriend, about her friends, about this, that, and the third. And then each time each time I even attempted to say one word out of my mouth, she would like stop me right away. Oh, but wait, but let me tell you this. But let me tell you that. I'm like, so I just got up and I was like, hey, it's been a good date. Just threw my money and I left. She was like, oh my God, you really doing this right now? I'm like, yep, I'm out of here because you don't shut the fuck up.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Word.
I can relate to that,
Christ.
Crazy. That bitch she would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they'll definitely keep talking. And there's other dates that I've been that, just awkward. Like, we can't even like start a conversation. Like I'm trying to like engage and like just awkward. Doesn't really respond as much. And you know what I mean? It was just like, it just felt weird. where it's like, I want to just end this night quickly, you know what I'm saying? And just like, just wrap this up quickly, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird, bro. And like when, because it's like, it plays both ways, right? One that could talk, and the one that doesn't really say as much, and you're trying to get something out of them, and they just like, quiet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man.
Do you get any of these moments while you was on date?
Crickets, like look at each other, right? That's all you hear. That's crazy. Yo, I had one particular one though, one date though, man. And I mean, listen, the way it works for me is that if I suggest to go on a date, I mean, obviously I'm the one inviting you, so I'm gonna, make sure that I take care of the bill, I take care, what I'm saying, everything, because I'm the one that's, bringing you. I mean, I'm the one that's inviting you. But there was one date, man, that my God, this girl pulled the tab, like he just kept ordering. I'm like, back in my mind, like, you think I'm gonna pay for all this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me get the Sunday special.
You ordering all this like without even like, yo, man, it was crazy.
She was like, "What's the most expensive wine on your list there?" So, the guy's like, "Don Perignon." So, let me get that.
Oh man!
She was like, "We're gonna split this bill, right, Mr. Tovar?"
Yo, it happens, man. It happens, man. They'll just keep ordering, man, and you know what I mean. I mean, listen, man, again, though, like, I got no problem, but when you go like, ham like that and just keep ordering stuff and not knowing how much money I have on me, not knowing how much it costs, you just ordering just to order it, to me, that's not cool. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool at all, because I wouldn't do that if there was, the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Each time she placed an order for something, you was like, every fucking order. Yo, but what are you doing?
What gets me more upset is when they order so much and they don't even finish it. So now it goes to waste.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo.
I never when I did date, I learned very quick. Oh my God, I completely forgot about this date. Let me tell you about this one chick that I went on a date with, bro. The most boring person I've ever met in my fucking, like, watching like condensation on your cup would be more interesting than the date with this fucking girl, bro.
What the fuck?
Yo, it was the worst fucking date. And I remember I was so fucking mad because like I went fly to the date, my nigga. Like I shaved my head, right? It's not cheap to shave your head, right? Because those razors cost money. I sprayed my cologne. I went looking real fly and real dapper, and I didn't take her to a bar. We went to a restaurant. It was because of this girl that every day after, I'm like, if I'm paying for it, I'm gonna go where the fuck I want to go, or like I don't want to meet you. The fuck. So we go to this like really fancy like restaurant. She shows up. I'm looking nice, right? She's wearing like fucking yoga pants, and she has her hair like in a bun. Yo, I was fucking livid when I fucking saw her, right? And so then like it became apparent pretty quickly that she fucking sucked, right? So at the end of the day, I tried to get a kiss. Yo, not even a kiss, bro. This bitch gave me a hug. I was like, this corny motherfucker, yo. She insisted that we go on another date, right? She like basically dragged me to go on 2 more dates with her, and I felt bad, like, because I wanted to be a nice guy, and I didn't want to say, yo, I'm just not interested. You suck. You have no personality, right? So the last, she's like, oh, I want to take you somewhere. This bitch took me to a fucking Starbucks. I don't fucking like coffee, bro. I don't like coffee. Like, I don't like none of this shit. Why are you doing this shit, right? So I curved her mad fucking hard. Like, she's like, oh, can you meet me over here? And I just didn't respond to her texts. I completely ghosted her. But she lived not far from me. She lived by by these projects out here, like by Dykeman and shit. So like years after the fact, like I saw her and she gave me the dirtiest fucking look. And I wanted to stop her and be like, yo, try not to be a terrible person next time around. Then this is how the story comes full circle. She went, the very next dude she went on a date with knocked her up, bro.
Already, that's crazy.
Knocked her the fuck up. She was being prudish for nothing. Still ended up giving it to some hood dude, getting knocked up, and now you're still there.
You know what he did though?
Fucking right in the pussy.
Oh my God, yo, God, yo.
That's what he did.
Yo, that shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah,
It was
man, that's
crazy.
crazy.
I'm glad I'm not dating. That shit brings its own like drama and you spend mad bread and mad energy on like people who like half the time aren't even worth your time. But I mean, it's a good struggle. Not a good struggle, but it's a good thing to go through because you learn a lot about yourself with each date.
Yeah, you do. You do. And in the search for the right person, you get to do a process of elimination. You'll be like, okay, I expect this and I don't expect that. I
Yep.
like this and I don't like that. So you're able to compare and contrast what you're looking for, and then I think eventually it works out because I mean it's worked out for me in the sense like I've done like do like a 10-day system, right? That's what I do, 10 dates. And then by the 10th, like by the 11th day, I already found like a perfect situation, and that ends up working out for me. So, I mean, some people, you know, I wish we would have had a dueña here. She was kind of under the weather today. She would have been on her female tip, you know what I'm saying?
That's gonna get another perspective. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah,
Right.
but we're definitely gonna have another episode on this. We need to have like the females jump in and talk their shit too.
Have a committee.
Yeah, because I'm sure they've had like. I'm not perfect. I'm sure probably those same girls that I'm talking about, they probably have a horror story about me. I don't know, but
You know, I feel like, yeah, but you know, I think like in the background, people make you the. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about me, and that's fine. But people have to make you the villain of their story, especially when they're unwilling to grow and be a better person. So like a lot of those girls, not all of them, but a lot of them, like, you know, weren't really interested in growing as people. And that's why like it didn't go much further than a date or two, because you fucking suck. Like, how the fuck, you're a grown-up. You had nothing to talk about. Why the fuck you dragged me out here then?
Word.
You really think it's okay for you to come to a date in yoga pants? Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Like, you knew you were going to a nice place. This is how you dress? Who raised you? You know, but like these are like, yo, it's a sign of respect. Like that means like, yo, she already doesn't respect you enough to put effort into her appearance.
Yeah,
that's a fuck you to you. She's saying fuck you to you. She may not even know she's saying fuck you, but she's already showing you she's an asshole. So when I was dating, I always used to look for shit like that. I'm like, oh hell no, get the fuck out of here. I already knew whether or not I was gonna call you back like a couple minutes into the date. I wouldn't leave because I should have done the shit you would do where cool, it's good and I'm leaving. I should have done that and saved people a lot of time.
I've left a couple of days at that. I'm like, listen, man. Peace.
That's some thug shit. I never done that.
Felicia.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
You gotta do it sometimes though, man.
Got it, man. You got it. Because yo, I like to have conversations and yo, what's the point? Like you said, communication is definitely very important in any situation, whether it's somebody you just met, somebody you've been with long term. That's how you keep the ambiance going, right? Good ambiance. And I've been on dates with it's the person across from me is like, they're not responsive. They're just like into their phone, they're texting, they're on Instagram, they're not paying attention. They're worried about other things. You have to like repeat yourself 2 or 3 times because they're not focused on the actual situation. I'm like, so what was the point? You was trying to get a free meal or something? I don't know.
There's definitely a level of that. There's definitely a level of I'm just gonna sucker this motherfucker for whatever he's willing to give me,
and that's common.
That's the brutal, honest truth. A lot of females will go out just to have like a guy pay for their date pay for dinner.
I one time went on a date. I one time went on a date with like this like IG model type girl, right? And yo, she was like, I could tell she was turned off by the fact that I didn't have a car. And I live in New York, and you have a roommate, huh? You don't have a car, and in my mind, I'm like, honestly, like I live alone. I have my own place, bitch. You got a roommate, so you say you probably live with your mom. Like what the like. This compare and contrast shit, like it's retarded. Like
there goes your car.
Yeah, like there's a lot of talk of like there's a lot of talk of toxic masculinity, but they don't talk about like the toxic shit that a lot of women believe and like perpetuate and shit.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why, you know, you keep getting with ain't shit dude after ain't shit dude is because the mentality doesn't change.
They get with the guy who has a BMW but lives in the projects with his mom's.
Yeah, or has a huge fucking car note on that his credit is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And they
That
caught
shit
up
is
with
that.
that. They caught up with that. I mean, that's that materialistic thing, though, man, where they want to see what you got, your possessions,
Yeah.
you know, rather than try to see what you got inside. I mean, like who you are as a person. They want to see what you got inside your wallet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's what they focus on. Some of them, you know what I mean. Not to say it's all of them, but you're right about that. And I mean, I could relate with the well, she wasn't IG. This was way before IG, Instagram. But I actually was dating a video vixen. She was like she was in a lot of videos. She was in the lean back video. She was in couple of Ja Rule videos. But anyway, she was out there. She was known. And man, this was my fuck up. I messed up. We went on a date, and then so what happens? I see someone that I was in a date prior in the same facility, man, and it was just like so crazy. And she saw me, and she peeped it, and she never called me ever since. That was it. And now she's married to a famous director called Benny Boom. He's a famous hip hop director. And she's living a life right now, man. Her name is Raven. You guys look up.
Shit.
I was trying to remember one time on IG. I said no response, man. No response. She's still holding those grudges still. But you know,
you know, like
you make mistakes.
I'm always a little curious about what the other side's perspective is. But that's just where it ends. It's curiosity. I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like,
but I mean, you know, in situations where you're like, it's clear that you weren't the problem. Certain date situations, it's very clear that you weren't the problem. Is even if the other person can make up a story and lie about the situation, you know clearly that it wasn't your fault. You know what I'm saying? There are times where you know you might have been at fault, but there's some situations that you know for a fact that it was the other person that fucked up, not you. You know what I mean? It's just like plain simple, you know. So it is what it is, man. But definitely, man. I mean, I'm sure for females. I mean, we don't have any females on the show right now, but I know there's a lot of horror stories for females too. You might have like that crazy perverted guy who's trying to fuck them that same night, or might try to like grab them, or they might be susceptible to a rape. You know. Something like that.
It's really crazy that women take chances with going out with men because, dudes are terrible, bro. Yeah. Horrible.
Some guys just whip out their dick right there in the car or something. They just suck my dick and force the women to do something. Where I know guys that have told me those stories. A friend of mine, like, listen, the shit wasn't going nowhere the day, but once we got in the car, I just pulled my dick out and she sucked it.
Oh, you're right. I know mad dudes that have told me that too, and I'm like, like that always seemed crazy to me. I'm like, you had like success with that?
They were like, the date wasn't going anywhere, but then after I pulled out my dick, it went great.
Crazy, bro. That's you gotta have. Wow, bro.
You know, one of those stories comes from the cousin, one of our, the cousin. I'm not gonna mention his name, but one of your cousins told me that story.
Yeah, that don't surprise me. That's wild. Nah, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, right. I never did no wild shit like that when I was single and I was dating. I never did nothing wild.
But imagine this: having a date that's going totally wrong. The bitch hates her guts. You hate her guts, right? And all of a sudden, just by you pulling your dick out, it changes the whole environment, and it turns out to be a great date. You got your nut off.
What if she whooped out a titty? You know?
Oh, yeah,
that'd be even better.
Yeah, she's like, that'll be like the game changer right there. It's like, okay, this is not going nowhere. I need to shoot a 3-ball. You know what I mean?
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
So people say, you know what? It's just going bad. I want some sex, and then a titty pops out.
Holy moly!
That's it. That is what it is, man. But listen, man, definitely, man. Dating is definitely. It could be great and it could be bad. It could be horrible or it could be a disaster. I'm sure there's a lot of other stories. We just, told our piece, our little stories of dating. We definitely have another episode about it. But yeah, man. Dinner at the Round Table podcast, man, with stand-up comedian Man Rad, man. Thank you for coming on, brother. You know, on so short notice too, because I just seen you recently. I was like, yo, you want to come on the show? And
Yeah,
it was
that is
awkward how we
wild. I
bumped
saw you around
into
the
each
corner.
other.
Yeah, well, I
Huh?
saw you around the corner. I saw you around the corner. You was eating at that restaurant.
Yeah, the restaurant, and I've seen you from, you know what I'm saying? It's like my
Yeah.
spidey sense was like, Man Rad is around, and I connected eye to eye. We locked.
Yeah, because I had the mask and everything on too. And you
Still
able to
recognize you.
recognize me.
I recognize those pretty eyes.
Massive peepers. Yeah, bro. Nah,
Yeah,
I mean,
brother.
thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's always fun coming on this thing, you know?
For sure, man. Next time we're gonna get you with the first beauty challenge. We're gonna bring that back.
That was epic, man. Last time that was epic.
That shit was funny as fuck.
That was
Man, fun.
bro.
That was fun.
Hell yeah. But listen, how we always do on the show, we have a final thought based on the topic. What's your final thought on dating?
My final thought on dating is if you're dating in 2021, go in knowing what you want, what you look for. Always be honest with the person. You can still get what you want if you're honest. Be honest and always protect yourself. Like, protect your body and protect your mind and spirit. Just be careful with what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking cycles out there.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yes, you're right about that, man. And I just add on to that. I mean, you know, first I would say that, you know, dating is just like anything else. It's an experience. So you got to definitely learn from it. And don't really force yourself too, you know, like just trying to feel like, oh, I got to be with somebody. And you're here just trying to like, you know, search for that one person. Just let it happen naturally. You know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. And always just, you know, energy never lies. So if you feel a certain energy with someone, either it's a connection you feel or something that you just feel like, you know what, I don't feel right about this person, then trust that because energy never lies. And I would just say that, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just take your time, man. Take your time. And, you know, now that, you know, for us at least, well, for me, I'm talking about, I'm much more wiser than I was, obviously, you know, 10, 15 years ago, you know, when I was younger. But, you know, now I've learned, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't rush and don't be too concerned about the looks now. I mean, because now it's like, what you really got to offer? You know what I'm saying? What do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Opposed to just her, you know, being pretty and all. But at the same time, she don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't really envision myself being with you if you got nothing to offer. You know what I mean? I could care less about your looks. You know what I'm saying? I want to know exactly how you and I could grow and build together. And if we can't do that, then, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how pretty you are. I got to move on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you know, you got to learn, man. Got to learn from our experience.
Yeah,
That's my
for
final
sure.
thought.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I don't think that could have been said any better, man. 100%.
My final thought is, man, you know, just definitely stick by your standards. Don't let nobody take you out of that realm. If you have a particular standard that you live by, as far as like who you're searching for, what type of person that you're trying to get involved with while you're dating, definitely respect your standards. Also, make the person who you're dating aware of your standards, because that's a way of you letting them know that there's certain things you're going to accept and not accept. But definitely take your time. Definitely do your research. You know what I'm saying? Do your 411. And, you know, if you're looking for something to jump in long term, then definitely have your standards. But if you're just looking for a quick nut, then go in and say that. Just be honest with the person too. You got to be honest with yourself. Be honest with the person who you're dating. Make sure that, you know, all the cards are on the table. If you guys are going to pay for the bill together, half and half, or it's just on you, make sure that you express what you want and what you don't want, so that there's no confusion and no mishaps, because your date could be a great date or a horrible date, which we just had a little stories on our podcast today. So, I mean, just take your time, man, and definitely stick to your standards. Have your if and don'ts, yes or no's, pros and cons in order, and I think dating will go a lot smoother. Just watch out for those psychopaths. That's all. Dinner at the Round Table podcast.
Where's your ad? When for the ad? When for the
That is for the psychopaths.
yeah.
Don't punch.
That's definitely a psychopath right there.
Oh man.
Don't punch bitches you just met in the ribs either, guys. That's
Yes. Yeah.
that's the final thought.
don't punch nobody in the ribs. You might,
Punch
it might
nobody
be a
in the
sign.
ribs.
Oh my god. Man.
Sure, man. Yeah, man, it's crazy. So yeah, then at the Roundtable podcast, man, catch us tomorrow. With music artist Jay Smooth and music manager Chandong tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Man, shout out to the Dinner at the Roundtable family. Shout out to Chris Ryder. Shout out to La Dueña. Hope you feel better. And Man Rad, man, it's always a pleasure having you on, brother. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully this vaccine gets things back in order and you can go back to doing your stand-up comedy. And are you gonna take it? The vaccine?
Hell fucking no. I'm taking that bullshit.
You didn't hesitate.
You go, yo. So just before we end off, you heard about this this bill that they're trying to pass in New York.
It's already it's on the floor already. They're trying to deliberate. That shit was written several months ago.
Yeah.
Like, yo, just because it's law doesn't mean it's righteous, bro. It's my body. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you're gonna mandate me to get a vaccine because like that hasn't, like, yo, people are getting sick because of the vaccine and they're not talking about this. Like, yeah. I don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I don't want to take something that hasn't been researched. Now, if you tell me the shit's been out a year and change and people are all right, no one's got these weird cancers, no, everybody's dick still works, you're not sterile, we could talk about it, but I'm gonna take it now just because you said so. No, get the fuck out of here. No.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
The price has to be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, for sure, man, definitely. You already know, my Dinner at the Roundtable podcast, man. Thanks for tuning in. We're definitely gonna have another episode. We have to have the female perspective on dating because I'm sure they got a lot of horror stories too. Yeah. They might have had a guy that groped her or try to do something crazy. They pull out a dick in the car, you know, like we was talking earlier. So a lot of shit.
Yeah, my girl has told me some crazy stories that's happened to her with like dudes popping up with like flowers and just random shit. Like, just dudes are creepy, bro.
They are.
Dudes are creepy.
So the same way that girls are creepy and they're non what was I gonna say? They're like basically into their weird shit too. There's a lot of guys into weird shit too. So
yeah, there's a lot of strange herbs out there, bro.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot of clingy, a lot of clinginess, clingy people. You already know, man. Sense of Attention by Lenny Coca. We out here, baby. You already know what it is.
Who the hell do you think I am?
Watching me. Oh, I said these days, it feel like everybody's watching me. Oh, I said these days, ain't nothing ever been the same since I came. I saw and conquered, I'm honored. I feel like I just won me an Oscar. Then I had to skirt, get your feelings hurt. Right after this perk, shadows in, so I know it worked. It takes a second, baby, you could be my nurse. You like the way that I talk, I can't help that I flirt. I'm the center of attention, not the misguided direction. The best is in my section, without a doubt, no question. They watching when I step in, and when I step out. They want my whereabouts, they don't know what I'm about. Showstopper, I'm the center of attention. Oh, I'm a showstopper. I'm the center of